Testing. Testing. All of them should be good.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, I started a firm like a couple years ago. So. No, I didn't know that at all. Hello, how are you? Yeah, okay, how's that going? It's going well. Are you still involved with what organization? The bar? Oh, Wilkie? Yeah, Wilkie. No? I mean, we hand out like scholarships. That's pretty much it. I used to be on the board now. No, just law school scholarships or in general? Yeah, like book scholarships, bar prep scholarships. Like at the gala, they're having their gala. I would say June, June sometime, and then like whatever things that they need me to help with, like just try to help that way. But nah, I'm not on the board. Man. I did like. What are you doing with trust? Pardon? This trust. What are you doing? Just trying to figure out where to get some money from. I mean, look, I went to the other event. I live around here. I have a multifamily that's down the street. We're looking to purchase probably more properties in this space. So I'm in like my office is off of 47 in Biscayne, so a little bit outside of Little Haiti. So like I'm real central to this area. Still within the city. What district is that? Do you know? Is it 5 still? No clue. No. But I live in Little River, so we're Little Haiti. Same difference. Really. Hi. How are you? Yeah. So what are you doing? I know that you work for this. I'm the attorney, so I'm actually covering for the board attorney. So I'm here to be the attorney for the workshop. It's not official board meeting, but just in case any questions come up or whatever. I'm just covering. My colleague, he's on vacation. You got it. Who's the attorney that's typically here? His name is Tom Foster. Thomas Foster. Yeah, I see that they have another one coming up in Liberty City. The trust meeting next week? Yeah, I used to have a Liberty City trust too. Raymond's the attorney for Liberty City. Raymond? Raymond Vieira. Miss Elaine Black. Yeah, so I'm probably going to talk to her there. They have a board meeting, I think, on Tuesday. On Tuesdays? Yeah, typically on Tuesdays. So that's what I just kind of like pulled all the public meetings that's around here and was like, what the hell is going on? Should I go to the commission on Thursday? What's today? Next week? It's the 10th. The 10th? I'm looking for. I just need to hear the things. I don't even know what I'm looking for. CRA too. Yeah, Southeast Overtime Progress. I'm the CRA. They got a lot going on. They have more money too. Like, because they get their they generate money from TIP, which is tax increment funding. Okay. So the property values within the CRA counties increase. That money is distributed up between the city, the county, and the CRA. And so that's how they operate. Okay. Yeah, I need to know all the things. And that's where I'm just going to be popping up. So depending on like where your property is that you're purchasing, the CRAs, they're actually designed to eliminate funding blight. Literally help redevelop. Like that's why they usually do a lot of grants, especially if you're going to do like a housing unit and things like that. They do a lot.
Angela Dorlands, absent. Ashley Toussaint, absent. Robert Holland,
Present.
Alyssa Zapata, Rudy Maymay, absent. We're able to proceed without quorum since this is a workshop.
Okay, thank you. Do I need to allow you ladies to make any announcements or anything? I know this isn't a typical board meeting, but I didn't want to begin without the proper procedure.
No, I don't have anything to announce.
No.
And I don't
No.
have to read it.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah, we
And-
can go into public comment.
okay. So I'll go ahead and open public comment if anybody would like to ask any questions or make any comments.
I just want to say something, if I may. Hi, good afternoon, Leonie Hermanton with Satla and concerned leaders. I just want to say that I had the real opportunity to go to door with the effort that was made here to go. And I was truly disturbed by what I saw. As someone who's been in this community who's worked in this community for the past 30 years, the level of poverty and of need in this community was truly, truly, I have to say, devastating for me. There were old people cooking who didn't have either electricity or gas, cooking outside, cooking in the courtyards with charcoal or whatever they could make up in charcoal. I saw children. I mean, it was truly heart-wrenching for me. And most of these people were renters. They lived in, we weren't allowed to go in, but I sort of picked through. Some of them were in little mobile units in the yards. The level of despair and poverty, and not just Haitian. I went into Spanish-speaking families. It was truly gut-wrenching. So I just want to uplift that. I want to thank Joanne again for giving us the opportunity to do sort of a reality check for me. That was a major reality check for me because I encountered a lot of our clients at St. I'm not over it. I encountered a lot of our clients at St. So to see where they live, under what conditions they live, again, was truly devastating for me. So I just want to bring that up. I know that the budget has strategies that are targeting homeowners, etc., and small businesses, but I just want to uplift the fact that there is real poverty in this neighborhood, and it really behooves us in whatever capacity to address it at some level. Thank you.
Would anybody else like to say anything or introduce themselves? No?
While, can I ask a question?
Sure, of course.
While doing that activation, and I know you're a great thinker, did you think of anything that could be done that would elevate folks other than a temporary fix and you're right back in the same situation?
Employment. I mean, a lot of these people were looking for either employment, and some of these things are beyond our capacity to do. It's about elderly people living on income, it's retirement income, living in houses where the rent now exceeds what they're paying. This is the reality. You work for $8, $9, $10 an hour back then. You're making $900 a month in Social Security, and a little efficiency that you're renting is now over $1,000. And so that's a reality that I don't know if we have the capacity to address at this level. But employment, is a major, major issue. We have multiple that people living in the house who are not working, or looking for work. When we talk to them, because employment. And so, I don't know. I think that in terms of the small businesses, I don't know if we require them to hire locally, but whatever development, whatever is happening, I think it's really important to stress the fact that we need to invest whatever money the trust is given to locally, so that, if you're going to hire people, preference should be given to those who live restaurants, what we're trying to do with construction, but it really needs to be, you can't give money to people and they're going to spend it in flowers. It's gotta be spent in this community to actually provide some support to residents. Because no matter what you say, if you don't come with something tangible, like a job, an opportunity to even interview for a job, they don't really trust you.
Yeah.
So to me, it's looking at how our investments at the trust can be captured at some level by residents.
Thank you.
You good?
I'm good.
Thank you for your comments, and I couldn't agree more. And that's one of the reasons why I state on a continuous basis that everybody deserves a safe, clean place to live. So, yes, sometimes being here and going through the community and, living and working here, there is some atrocities that I have also encountered that, they do tug at your heart. So I appreciate your comments. Would this be an initiative that maybe the concerned leaders would like to partner on, as we have built out some of our different programs? Maybe, whether it's this year or next year, we are limited, we have limited funds and limited, staff and resources, but is this something that, as the concerned leaders continues to organize?
That's something that we have to discuss internally, but again, I want to say that as concerned leaders, right now our priority is to completely legalize that. We're in the process of finalizing the 501c3.
That's why I say, as you guys continue
that absolutely,
to,
that's definitely something that is a priority to us. And so, again, I cannot speak on behalf of the group, but it's absolutely aligned with our own vision and mission.
Okay, I'd like to continue that conversation.
Yes.
Thank you, Leonie. I'm going to give everyone that just got here a second to get in and sit down, and before I go ahead and close public comment.
Alyssa, you
Yes.
may just want to just mention that public
Yeah, I
comment
was
is still
letting
open.
them sign in. So, gentlemen, all of you that just got here, we're actually in the public comment part of the meeting. So once you have a chance to sign in and sit down, if you would like to say something or ask a question, please feel free to do so, because once we close public comment, then we're going to discuss the budget. So if anybody would like to participate, please come forward and give your name for the record. Hello, Carl.
Do the comment first.
You can make the comment, and this gentleman behind you will give you, or this lady behind you will give you a microphone.
Okay, good evening. Hello. Okay, good evening. Carl Bay. The first thing that comes to mind is that the public review hearings, community meetings that took place concerning Sable Palm. As I recall, there was never a final discussion or even a follow-up discussion concerning the community benefits package from Sable Palm. So can anyone in the audience today or panel tell me whether or not that has proceeded to the next stage?
So unfortunately, tonight, Carl, we're just discussing the budget. That is the only noticed item for this workshop. This is actually our budget workshop.
Right.
So we can certainly discuss that, or we can,
So it's not part of. It's not part of.
It is
It's not
not.
on the budget agenda for this
It
evening.
is not. We
Okay,
can
we'll
speak
save it
with
for
Ms.
another time.
Millard, or, we can figure that out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been extensive community meetings and, lots of discussions and everything, but I'm with you on, we haven't gotten to an end point. So unfortunately, we are going to have to table that conversation for tonight. And if there's anything, we can get you a copy of the budget and you can review that. But yeah, for tonight, it's only the budget.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. So anybody else would like to make a comment or ask a question? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the public comment portion. And go ahead and, Mr. Holland, if you have any questions, I'll let you go first.
No, I've had an opportunity to look at the budget. Most of it kind of gives the expenditures that we have for staff, gives the interest payments that have been earned on the money that we have in the account. When you look at the city's contribution and the interest payments, that pretty much covers staff and all the things that we do here. The other money, which one? The other stuff is the money that we have in our programs, which there's a line item there, and then we have some reserves. So I'm perfectly fine with what I see in the budget.
Okay, thank you. And I only have one question. My question is regarding the general liability insurance. And I don't know, I may have asked this question before, but I see that it's gone up and we're paying a pretty hefty amount for the general liability insurance. And my specific question is, if this is a public facility, this is a city facility, why are we carrying our own general liability insurance? Wouldn't that just be some type of add-on or a rider or just for something for the trust? So if maybe we could research that and figure out why our insurance for an already covered facility that probably has lots of insurance, lots of different types of insurance, why we're at that number.
So the insurance is more than just, it's not actually covering the facility, it's for the entity or the organization. So we're considered a separate entity, and we did work closely with Frank Gomez of the risk department at the city in order to ensure that as an entity, that we have the proper insurance. So they did work alongside us to be able to receive the quote. We do not cover this facility, but we do have the basics as far as general liability, workers' comp. They do ask, what the square footage of your office, but the insurance for this facility is through the city, which they self-insure, but is not included in our policy.
So maybe if we could get a, I guess, from risk management, interpretation, because I'm a bit confused. I mean, I carry general liability insurance, and it's pretty steep. I mean, that could be another 2 grants that we could put out. So I would just kind of like to understand, is this just workers' comp, just, general liability? Does this cover, events? Does this cover, what? Because, I mean, that's a lot for just general liability. It's not windstorm insurance, not any other type of structure insurance, not for special events, not directors and officers insurance.
Oh, it is.
So
Directors and officers is included, but I can provide you with the complete policy.
Yeah, because I guess that's kind of what I'm hung up on.
Yeah.
So if we could just have an interpretation and I could, have a better understanding, because just general liability, I guess is throwing me off in the line item of the budget.
Okay.
So that's all I have. So I don't have any other questions. So I don't know if you'd like to say anything as our executive director, or give any explanations or present anything, but it's pretty straightforward other than that for me as well.
Okay. So just overall comments with the budget. We did just finish our annual audit, and that report was emailed to you today. It was due as of March 31st, and it will be included on the agenda for our next meeting, which will be held on Tuesday. And so the budget does include our fund balance as of September 30th of 2024, which is the last fiscal year. It does identify, we're assuming that we will receive the same dollars from the city that we received in the current fiscal year, which is $249,000. We estimate as far as interest earnings that we would receive $250,000. That's based on the calculation that we received $351,000 in the last fiscal year. So we're estimating a decrease of about $100,000 in interest revenues. And then our carryover fund was $6.3 million. As far as expenses are concerned, we are pretty consistent with last year's expenses. We did increase salaries by the 3%. That's COLA increase for the employees. Our next largest expense, I would say, would probably be professional services. By the time we enter into our next fiscal year, we would have been done with the FIU contract. And so there was a reduction in professional services line item from $132,000 to $100,000. We are carrying over that same $2.2 million in aid to other organizations. That number will probably decrease before we finalize our budget for the next fiscal year due to the fact that we have already expended some of those aids to private organizations through the small business grant. So we'll be carrying over a smaller dollar amount. In addition, that number also includes the $750,000 for the South Florida Community Land Trust. We have not executed that agreement as of yet, as they are still working with the county to finalize their contract, and until their general contractor is able to provide the requested insurance, we're not able to execute the contract on our side. So that 2.2 figure includes the 1.5 for each of our 3 programs, and also the $750,000 for the South Florida Community Land Trust. And those are the major line items that I wanted to discuss as far as the budget for the next fiscal year.
Thank you. So do you want to let him ask a question? Yes, since this is a budget workshop, I'll give you 1 minute and you can direct your question to our executive director.
Mike, Mr. Bate, Mike.
Thank you. Okay. The South Florida Community Land Trust, is it specific for the Little Haiti designated area, or does it go beyond those boundaries?
So it's specific to a project that they have on Northeast 2nd Avenue in which they're going to be doing 13 affordable home ownership. Mm-hmm. And so it's a total project of $7.5 million. They requested $750,000 from the trust, and we're contributing to that development project.
Great. Thank you. That's all I had. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything else? Good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I'm just going to make an announcement
Of
that
course, please.
we are very early in the budget process, and there's an opportunity, if we need to make amendments, to have the opportunity to make those amendments and then provide to the city. It's just that in the city's ordinance, we do have a deadline of April 1st to provide our first draft of the budget.
It's better to get the exercise done, and if this works out with the HACDC, will that also be able to be included in this year's budget, or will that have to wait until next year?
This year's budget starts for October, the budget that we're looking at. So if we foresee that this would be expense that would be encumbered during that fiscal year, then we could make the amendments at that time.
And if not, well, okay.
Correct.
Thank you. I'm sorry?
It's online with our packet. Okay.
I have a copy, an extra copy if anybody wants one. So, thank you. I'll give you my copy. I have it in my email. Yeah. We got one more here.
See how I'm looking? Amazing. God is good.
But ask Tom.
You want it?
Our meetings are. We've been getting out here.
Really? Y'all got it together. Y'all
We got it
even the
pretty
little
good.
setup is legit now. I see a tablecloth. I see shirts with names. I was like, okay, Joanne.
Bye. Yes. All right, take care. Thank you for coming. We have our regular meeting on Tuesday if you want to join. That's our real board meeting where we go through agenda items and they vote and, it's a longer meeting. This is just
Is there some action going on?
sometimes.